All right, if you've been dreaming of a career right at the heart of India's defense technology, you are in exactly the right place. The Defense Research and Development Organization, you know them as DRDO, has just dropped its big SEPTAM-11 notification. Now, in this explainer, we're going to crack that code for you. We'll break it all down, make it super simple, and get you ready to apply. Let's dive right in.
First things first, the big number. DRDO has put a massive 764 technical vacancies on the table. That's a huge opportunity for anyone with the right qualifications who wants to do work that really, truly matters.
So to make sure you've got everything covered, we've laid out a simple 5-step roadmap for you. We'll look at the opportunity itself, help you find your perfect role, check if you're eligible, walk through the selection process, and finally cover exactly how to apply.
Okay, let's start with Section 1, the opportunity. Before we get lost in the details of exams and eligibility, it's really important to get what a career at DRDO is all about and why this hiring spree is such a big deal.
So for anyone who might not know, DRDO is basically the brains of the Ministry of Defense. They are the people developing the absolute cutting-edge, state-of-the-art tech that our Army, Navy, and Air Force rely on every single day. This is where innovation meets national security head-on.
And you know, it's not just about the incredible mission. A job here gives you this amazing mix of purpose and rock-solid stability. You're not just getting a paycheck, you're directly contributing to the nation's security. Plus, you get all the benefits of a central government job. We're talking attractive pay scales and all the perks that come with it.
All right, so with over 700 jobs up for grabs, the big question is, where do you fit in? Well, the openings are mainly split into two big categories: Senior Technical Assistant B, which we'll call STA-B, and Technician A, or Tech A. They're pretty different, so let's see which one is for you.
So here's how it breaks down. On one side, you have the STA-B role. This is a Group B non-gazetted post, which basically means it's a solid permanent government job. The pay is higher, and it's for people who have a BSc or a diploma in engineering. This is where the bulk of the jobs are, 561 of them. On the other side, you've got the Tech A role. This is a Group C post, perfect for folks who've passed their 10th standard and have an ITI certificate. There are 203 spots available here.
Now, if we dig a little deeper into those S&T-B jobs, you can see where the biggest demand is. Computer science is leading the charge with a whopping 160 openings. Right behind that is mechanical engineering with 127, and then electronics with 111. So if your background is in one of these fields, your odds are looking pretty darn good.
And what about the Tech A jobs? Well, the top trades are just as clear. COPA, that's Computer Operator and Programming Assistant, has the most spots with 52. Then you've got Electronics with 31 and Electrician with 30. If you've got an ITI certificate in one of these, this is your signal to get ready.
Okay, so you found a role that sounds like a perfect match. Awesome. Now comes the most important part, checking the eligibility rules, and you really need to pay attention here because these are the non-negotiables that can make or break your application.
The basics are simple enough. You have to be an Indian citizen, and you need to be between 18 and 28 years old. But listen up, because this next part is the most critical detail of all. The crucial date is January 1st, 2026. What does that mean? It means everything. Your age, your degree, your diploma. It all has to be valid and complete on or before that date, not a single day after.
Now here's a really strange rule, but you absolutely have to know this. DRDO is crystal clear that candidates with higher qualifications, like a BE, B.Tech, MSc, or a PhD, are not eligible for these jobs. I know, it sounds weird, right? But the thinking is probably that they want people who are the perfect fit for the role's duties, which means they'll stick around longer and be happier. So the key takeaway is this: make sure your qualification is exactly what they're asking for, not higher, or your application will get tossed out.
Okay, so you're eligible. You're ready to go. What happens next? How do you actually get one of these jobs? Let's walk through the selection process step by step. For the Senior Technical Assistant, or STA-B, posts, it's a pretty straightforward two-step process. First, everyone takes the Tier 1 exam. Think of it as a screening test. If you pass that, you move on to the Tier 2 exam. This one is all about your specific subject, and this is the test that really counts for your selection. Now, for the Technician A roles, there's one extra, really important step. You start with that same Tier 1 screening test. Then you take a Tier 2 test that's specific to your trade. But the final hurdle? That's the trade test. This is a hands-on, practical exam to prove you actually have the skills. It's just qualifying, so you just have to pass, but it is absolutely mandatory.
So, let's take a closer look at that Tier 1 exam that everyone has to take. It's a 2-hour test on the computer. You'll face 150 questions, worth 150 marks. The questions cover quant, reasoning, general science, and general English. So you'll need a good all-around performance to get through to the next round. And listen, there are 2 things you absolutely have to burn into your brain about this test. First, your Tier I score is only for screening. It's a gatekeeper. It won't affect your final ranking at all. Its only job is to get you to Tier 2. Second, and this is a big one, there's negative marking. You'll lose 1/4 of a mark for every wrong answer, so wild guessing is a bad idea.
We're on the home stretch now. You know the jobs, you know you're eligible, and you know the process, so let's get down to the final piece of the puzzle, your action plan for actually applying. Let's talk fees. They're different depending on the post and your category, but here's a fantastic pro tip for you. For everyone, a big chunk of that fee, 500 rupees, is refundable. What's the catch? You just have to show up and take the Tier 1 exam. It's basically their way of encouraging you to follow through.
Okay, get your calendars out because you cannot miss these dates. The application portal opens on December 11th, 2025, and it slams shut on January 1st, 2026. You get a few extra days to pay the fee, and then a super short window to make any corrections. What's the moral of the story? I repeat, do not wait until the last minute.
To make your life way easier, get all your ducks in a row before you start the application. You're going to need a working email and phone number, scanned copies of your photo and signature, all your education certificates, your 10th certificate to prove your age, any category certificates if they apply to you, and of course, your bank details so you can get that fee refund.
And now for the single most important action item of all. Please apply only on the official DRDO website. Be super careful. You'll see all sorts of fake sites and weird links pop up. Ignore them. Always go straight to the official source to make sure your application is safe, secure, and actually submitted. So there you have it. That's the complete breakdown of the DRDO CEPTAM-11 notification. You've got all the information, you know the path forward. The only question left is the big one. Are you ready to help build the future of India's defense?